Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to Once Upon a Time Tarot version. So today's reading, I did a little different. I'm still doing the Once Upon a Time, but today I shuffled and asked for a significator. And that's usually the main person of the story, like a card that would represent who's basically we're telling the story about. And you could do this one of two ways. You can actually shuffle and just randomly one comes out, obviously. Or you can actually pick a card. It's up to you. You could do it either way. So anyway, ours was the Five of Pentacles. And I looked at it for a while and I said, oh, interesting. And then I shuffled the rest and I laid them out and I said, ooh, interesting. So let's start. And just a disclaimer, this story doesn't always have to be about romantic love. This could be about anybody who wants to re-enter your life. Okay? All right. You all nodded, right? So once upon a time, there was someone, and again, let me just another disclaimer, don't get caught up in the gender because unfortunately I can't train myself to not say him or her. I can't. So, okay, so let's start again. So once upon a time, there was somebody who was very broken. And the odd part of this brokenness was it was caused by somebody who was already broken. So even though they knew the pain that they had gone through, they continued to put it upon other people. It really didn't teach them a lesson. As a matter of fact, it made them cold and heartless. But the person who was broke, this one here, still believed in warmth. They still believed that people had kindness. They still believed that people would do the right thing no matter what. So this person went on their merry way. They were broken emotionally, maybe a little mentally. They just were broken. And they received a message. They received a very, very small message. And as small as that message was, it still had an impact on them that they thought they had long gotten over. So the message brought out in them anxiety, fear, but it also brought out emotions of love, missing the person, and very mixed emotions. So then the person became the emperor and they said, I've worked so hard on getting myself to a certain place so I don't experience this anymore. As you can see, the mountains behind them. They said, I thought I've put all this behind me. Do I dare let it come back again? Because don't forget, pages are all about messages, okay? So they sat there and they thought, and even though it was the smallest of message, and it was a kind, loving message, they decided that they were going to be standoffish. So they were not going to answer because they kept thinking back to all the work they had done. And they kept replaying in their head, do I reply to this message or do I stand my ground? Because I've put all this baggage behind me. You could see all those mountains right behind them. Then came another offer. The Six of Cups showed up. And this time, the stories came with it. Things are different. I have changed. But yet, with the moon card clouding over it, we knew it couldn't constantly be truthful. It could not be truthful. The constant, it was always somebody else's fault. It was never my fault. The constant excuses. But the apology never came. And knowing the moon card was hanging over the offer, it still seemed very, very suspect. So the conversation continued, and the other person continued telling the broken person about their life. They waited and waited for the apology, but no apology ever came. And then Mr. King of Cups showed. They turned into Mr. King of Cups. And normally there's an old saying that says when somebody shows up hat in hand, they're going to apologize. Well, this was cup in hand. So he showed up, or she, with cup in hand and said, I want to apologize. Now that made it even worse because the person who was so broken went back to everybody eventually does the right thing and knew that if the person who once broke their heart came back with an apology, would she trust them? So the way I'm going to end today's reading is you're all going to react different to this reading. But this is a prediction told in fairy tale style that somebody is going to come back into your life. Okay. And again, it doesn't have to be love. It could be a family member. It could be maybe an old employer. It could be anything. Somebody who had an emotional impact on you. Okay. And they're going to come back and they are going to give some offers. And at one point they will apologize. But at one point you have to say, who is worth more? Is it me or is it them? Okay. So you have to really think, would you choose yourself this time? All right, everyone. I hope this reading made sense. I hope you like the new style. And thank you so much. If you don't follow or subscribe, please do and like this video. It does help the cause. And this is Friday, and I still am the Queen of Wands. And everybody, have a great day.